Assalamu alaikum students, I am Mir Wajid Ali, your head of department. I am here with the second video of our assignment brief guidance series, and today's video is about unit 2 networking. So let's start. So first of all, the submission format. This is a very generic submission format. Again, you need to submit a report having a formal business style. It needs to be properly formatted. You need to include the headings, paragraphs, subsections as appropriate. My recommendations here would be A, your submission will be in form of a report as well as a project file made in Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, so there will be two evidences, two files submitted. One is report and the other is Cisco Packet Tracer's project file. As far as the report is concerned, then yes, you need to properly format it. You need to have a cover page, you need to have a table of contents, list of figures, list of tables. You need to use the headings properly. You need to use 12 font size. Again, yes, you can have a single spacing or you can have 1.15 or even 1.5 line spacing. It's up to you. But you need to make sure that you include the in-text citation against every information that you include in your work. And at the end of the report, you need to add a table of references or bibliography. Okay. You must remember, you must keep in your mind that your work will be submitted to Turnitin for plagiarism check and AI detection. It will not be submitted for plagiarism check, but for the similarity check and AI detection. Plagiarism is something that your tutor, your assessor, and the internal verifier and the external verifiers will validate. So your work will be submitted to Turnitin for AI and similarity check. Please remember that similarity should not be more than 25%. Even the 25% is the borderline. So keep it as low as possible. The lower it is, the better the opportunities for you to pass the module. As for the AI, 20% is the limit, but I would recommend, and I would highly recommend that you should not copy and paste the contents from the AI tools like ChatGPT. You must use ChatGPT or any other AI tool to develop your understanding, develop your concepts, and even after developing your concepts, consult the internet like Google, consult the literature like the research papers or any other document that is relevant to the topic which you are researching for, and then get the references from there. Okay, and then your evidence should be written by yourself and in your own words. Please remember that anything which you will copy from the ChatGPT or any other tool into your work, and even if you humanize it, we have the ability to detect it quite conveniently because there are patterns which we identify and we mark it as plagiarized. And that will be plagiarized. And for plagiarism, we have zero tolerance. Plagiarized work will not be considered. Okay, so be very, very, very careful. Thank you. So coming to the learning outcomes, so this assignment will be covering all level LO4s, all learning outcomes. So this is the only assignment you will be covering for this module. Assignment brief guidance. So the first portion is the company introduction. So Novatel is the company that Novatel is a renowned network company providing network design and implementation services in the country. They are also very active in supporting academia, and in this regard, they are constantly provide internship, apprenticeship, and even job opportunities to existing and graduated students. You have joined the Novotel through TMUC CDC as an intern, and on your first day at the company, your supervisor assigned all the interns with two evaluation activities. These activities are intended to evaluate your existing understanding and knowledge base regarding the computer network. So the first paragraph, it is about the company, and the other paragraph is about your role in the company. So being an intern in your company means you are in a job role. Okay, so you will not attempt this assignment as a student, but you will attempt it as a report by an internee submitted to his supervisor, his or her supervisor. So please make it professional. Please don't make it a question and answer thing. I am really fed up, because whenever I see P1 heading, P2 heading, M1 heading, M2 heading, it ticks me off. Please don't do that. That is not what the professionals do. Okay, and now, since you are studying this qualification and you are being asked to opt the role of an internee, so consider yourself as an internee. Okay, now coming to activity 1, fundamentals of computer networks, and the activity 2 is designing and implementation of a computer network. Okay, so there are two activities. So my recommendation to you is go for two sections in your report. Make first section and put the heading of fundamental of computer networks, and then start your evidence for this activity. And when it is completed, then add a section for activity 2, give its heading, and then start the evidence work from there. Okay, so activity 1 is, and I feel this activity 1 has two portions. So first I will read the first portion. Write an essay in which you should discuss computer network and various aspects that are associated with it. You may structure your essay in following manner. What is a computer network and what are different types of networks being used in the organizations? Support your discussion with examples and relevant illustrations, formally cross-reference. Also include the benefits and constraints for each type. Then is, what are the different standards available in computer networks and what benefits and constraints they have? What are the different network topologies and what is their impact with regards to communication and bandwidth requirements? Finally, while covering the above points, you may also structure your document in a way that it also shed light in form of an assessment of common network principles and protocols as to how they enable the effectiveness of network systems. Okay, so I feel that this targets our LO1. Examine the networking principles and their protocols. So P1 is discuss the benefits and constraints of different network types and standards, explain the impact of network topology in communication and bandwidth requirements, and M1 is assess common networking principles and how protocols enable the effectiveness of network systems. So P1, P2, and M1 is covered under the first portion. Yes, here. So while working on this, if I were you, I would start with a section called computer networks. I would give some introduction about it. Then I would discuss about its different types. And I would also include the illustrations, because for different types of networks, we have tons of images available. And I would definitely cross-reference them. I would include those images with my work. I would relate them so that they generate a meaningful evidence for evaluation. Also, I would include the benefits and constraints of each type of network type. Again, just to give you an idea, like when I was studying computer networks, I found that there was one network which was limited to a specific area, a building or a room or whatever, and there was another type which was spanning across the globe, the internet. Okay, so that is one example. I'm just giving you a hint, not giving you the complete detail, because I cannot. Then is what are the different standards available in computer networks and what benefits and constraints they have. So yes, you will be discussing about different standards in computer networks, and of course you will be discussing about the benefits and constraints each of them has. Then what are the different types of network topologies and what is their impact with regards to communication and bandwidth requirements. So yes, you will be discussing about different topologies. Again, I remember one topology had a larger coverage area, but it had a limited bandwidth, and the other one, it had a lesser coverage area, but it had a greater bandwidth. So definitely, when you will explore it, you will find the ideas there, and the information there, of course. So with this, I believe you will be able to complete your standard passing criteria. But if you will cover the fourth point in a way, like while addressing the above 3 points, if you keep in consideration the fourth point, then I believe you will be able to generate the evidence which will not just cover the passing requirements, but will also consider the merit criteria as well. Like for example, when you will be discussing about network types and different topologies and different standards, there will be the involvement of various protocols in between. So if you will cover that part in between, it will definitely help you out, and you can definitely go to the merit level, of course. And even if I were you, I would recommend the first approach, which I just told you. But even you can have a separate heading that would cover this particular region, particular information. You can provide that information in a separate section. No, under the separate section, separate head. Sorry. So with this, you will cover the yellow ones, passing and merit criteria. Then comes the second portion. Further in your essay, consider the following scenario and discuss network devices and their operations. So now here is the scenario. Company is interested in deploying an in-house web server, application server, and a VPN server. Web server will provide public access, whereas the application server will provide access to staff and clients in a secure manner. Staff can remotely access the company's network through VPN that will give them secure access to private network. Okay, quite extensively defined. It asks for a lot of things: a web server, application server, then VPN, of course, remote access, a lot of stuff is there. So definitely, and remember one thing, like when you will read this scenario, understand one thing, that these are not the only devices we are discussing here, or you will discuss, or you will cover. There are other associated devices which are not being told here in this scenario, and you have to keep them in consideration, because without them, your evidence will not be completed. You have to brainstorm them. Okay. So in this regard, you are required to add a discussion about the operating principle of required network devices. Yes, it's a tricky part. Required network devices. Okay. So for server, you need to have a device, an added device to communicate over the internet, over the network. That are associated in achieving the above objective. It is a tricky part. Okay, so you need to keep in consideration the required equipment which will be required to achieve the above objective. Okay, a recommended server type to meet this scenario requirement, of course, you need to propose the web server and the application server. May include a discussion about various server types as well. Yes, there are different server types available in the market, and there are tons of factors which play a critical role in the selection of a server for a particular purpose. So you need to. It is ideal that you keep this consideration in your mind, and you keep the discussion as part of your evidence. Considering cost and performance as a selection criteria, of course, like you need to identify the prices, you need to check the prices from the internet, and of course the performance criteria, like which like I'll just give you a hint here, that a normal web server with limited visitors, it can be a simple server, like a lower small scale server, but if we are talking about large scale visitors, like thousands of visitors, then definitely we need to have a machine that can take that much of load. So we will work accordingly. So you need to assume few things here, and you need to give the assumptions here. You need to tell that, assuming that we will have this much of visitors at a time, so considering this much of load, it is suggested that we should use this server. So that is in that way. Okay. uh Interdependent as a selection criteria, and then is interdependence of workstations with relevant network software like VPN clients. Yes, since we are talking about VPN server, we need to have a VPN client installed on a client server, client machine. By the way, I will give you another hint here, that uh, in general we call a PC a personal computer that is used for personal purposes. But once you are taking it over the internet, and especially the corporate network, then it becomes a workstation. It is no more a personal computer. It is a workstation for which you are utilizing, for the official purposes. Okay. So you need to relate that. You may also include an evaluation of the network topology and protocols that you would recommend for a given scenario as to how they would show an efficient utilization of the network system. Okay, so this part, I believe it's for the distinction criteria. And it is asking for you to propose the topology, propose the protocols for the given scenario. And the scenario is, this is the scenario. Okay. So with this, your activity 1 will be completed, and you should structure it in a proper headings, with proper headings. Make proper headings for each part, and put a proper information there. And wherever you use the illustrations or tables, do give the caption and do cross-reference them in your text. Okay. Now coming to the activity 2. So before starting the activity 2, you should add a page in your report, and give it a heading, um, like designing an implementation of a computer network, and then you will start your evidence. So this seems to be a project which you will be doing in your Cisco Packet Tracer. You may design, okay, so for this activity, you're required to develop a formal report of up to 5,000 words. Okay, your response should be related to the following scenario. A new startup DPL Sambad has approached your company for the design and implementation of a data network in their site office. Okay, good. So you have a scenario, you have a client. The details of the premises are as follows. Compound is 2,000 square feet, 1 ground floor, reception with waiting areas where there is a desk for the receptionist and sitting space, 2 rooms having space for 4 desks. Okay, waiting area, let's see. Again, give you a hunch, because while I was reading this assignment brief, I was not able to find any number of stations identified here. So that means this assignment brief is going to grill you for this. You need to identify you need to tell the number of workstations, the servers, and blah 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 blah. You need to come up with the list of equipment that will be required. For example, on ground floor, there is a reception. Okay, there is a reception with a waiting area. Okay, no, there is a need of a system on the reception. Where there is a, then in the waiting area where there is a desk for the receptionist. Okay, fine, the receptionist, and the receptionist will have 1 computer and sitting space for visitors. 2 rooms having space for 4 desks in each room. 8 and plus 1 plus 9, 1 room for the manager office. 10, 1 room for the IT support with having 2 desks. 12, a minimum, and plus of course the IT room, so there will be the servers and the other network equipment as well. The IT related, again, I am not the person right now, like I'm just giving you a hint. You have to identify the number of computers. You need to identify the number of workstations required. The IT related details are as follows. Company has its own client server application that needs to be deployed in a dedicated server in a local environment. All workstations within the premises will have the front end application installed that will be connected to the server all time. System is also available online and can be accessed through a VPN. Proper authentication both at local and remote ends is required before any user can access the server resource. Mostly workstations deployed in the premises are standard desktop workstations, but executives have their laptops and need mobility across the premises. So there are number of things coming around, like I can smell not just one type of network but 2 or maybe 3 types of networks. So you need to think over it. Then is in this regard, you are required to design a network layout plan using tools like MS Visio or eDraw. Yes, eDraw and MS Visio are very professional tools. You should develop your skills with that. It allows you to properly draw a layout plan, where you will define the premises and then you will show the rooms. But I will give you an opportunity, an option, that you can use Cisco Packet Tracer for designing as well. But remember one thing, designing in Cisco Packet Tracer is very good. It's fun activity. I really enjoyed it. But it's a bit tricky as well. You need to explore it properly. And once you explore it, then you will be able to design it effectively, and finally, and in the similar manner, you can simulate the functionalities in a very appropriate manner. Like, it will be an excellent experience. Like, you can do miracles here. You can do wonders here. Sorry, not the term miracle, but you can do wonders here. You may demonstrate your design to your peer group for feedback and may apply any improvements that would optimize and enhance its efficiency. Okay, so you need to have a peer review. You need to get the feedback from your peer group. So mind one thing, when you are getting a feedback from your peer group, you need to include that in your report. You need to include that evidence in your report. Okay, don't miss it, because if you will miss it, you will lose a passing criteria and eventually you will lose the complete unit. So don't do that. Always ensure that you will include the feedback. Okay, you will include this feedback. Using Cisco Packet Tracer, you are required to simulate your design. Of course, you can design it in Cisco Packet Tracer and you can simulate it, or you can design it in MS Visio or eDraw and you can simulate it in Cisco Packet Tracer. Test your implementation and analyze the results against expected outcomes. You will need to develop a yes, you have already designed a maintenance and testing schedule for the network. So now you tested it. You may recommend potential enhancements to your implemented network and may include a critical reflection on the design, its implementation, and the decisions made for enhancements. Like, after post implementation, you will critically evaluate your project with regards to the requirements and the overall stuff. Okay, so this is important, and this activity will be targeting your LO3 and LO4. Okay, design a network system to meet a given specification, design a maintenance schedule to support the network system, analyze user feedback on your design and improving efficiency. Okay, sorry, I said that if you will miss the feedback from your peer group, you will lose the passing criteria, but it's not the passing criteria, it's the merit criteria. Okay, so even you should work for the merit criteria. P7 is implement a network system based on the prepared design, document, analyze, test results against expected results. And M4 is recommend potential enhancements for the network system. You will give recommendations and critically reflect on the implemented network, including the design decisions made to enhance the system. Yes. So the activity 2 covers the whole LO3 and LO4, which you can achieve. Like, honestly telling you, you can achieve a distinction in this. And apart from the distinction, if you will focus on this unit, I am 100% sure that you will enjoy working on this, and it will indeed develop good skills in you related to networking. Wish you all the very best, and Allah Hafiz.